It's the ownage, bitches. Today we'll be taking a look at Cruis'n World for the Nintendo 64.
Cruising the world. Yeah, yeah. You've got the speed, you've got the power to cruise the world. You've got the speed, you've got the power to cruise the world.
Cruis'n World was developed by TV Games Inc. and was sold and manufactured by Midway. Cruis'n World is the successor to Cruis'n USA and is the second game in a 3-game series. Cruis'n World was released in American arcades in 1996 and was later ported by Eurocom to the Nintendo 64 in 1998. Rather than driving coast to coast across America, Cruis'n World takes you to countries all over the world. The game expands upon its previous installment with more secret cars, improved graphics, and a bonus trick system. The game is also the first in the series to feature the double gas pedal tap to do a wheelie, which is a signature move of the cruising series.
Ooh la la, Le Wheelie?
Why, yes, that was the day I popped a wheelie.
The arcade game runs on similar hardware to Cruis'n USA and uses an updated version of the game's engine. The game came in 3 cabinet configurations: the 25-inch deluxe sit-down, the 33-inch simulator, and the stand-up. Cruis'n USA featured 2-player linking support, while Cruis'n World supports 4. Seeing 4 arcade cabinets linked up with the headers installed was a sight to be seen. Eugene Jarvis knew the N64 port of Cruis'n USA was bad. He promised that Cruis'n World would be an arcade-perfect port, and he more or less delivered. The graphics were nearly the same, the handling was spot on, and the music was very similar to the arcade version. I would personally label the N64 version more of an upgrade than a port though, as there were many things that separated the port from the arcade version. The port added a new game mode, more cars, introduced drifting, spotted a power leveling system, had more music, and an additional racetrack. Cruis'n World is considered to be the best port in the series. The game features 3 different game modes: Cruise the World, which mimics the arcade game experience; Championship, where you race for points and unlock hidden extras such as upgrades and secret vehicles; Practice, for practicing tracks without any enemy drivers or traffic. All the racetracks in the arcade version are here: Hawaii, Japan, Australia, China, Kenya, Egypt, Russia, Germany, Italy, France, England, Mexico, New York, and Florida. As a bonus, the Nintendo 64 version had a track where you race on the moon. It's sort of a repainted Australia that's very bumpy. The arcade game had 12 selectable cars, while the home version featured a whopping 25 after unlocked. It's worth noting that you could change the colors of your car in the arcade and N64 versions, a feature that wasn't possible in the previous game. As I mentioned earlier, there are many changes that were made that affect the game experience. One is the power leveling system, which changes the speed of all cars. Power levels can be unlocked by gaining points in Championship mode. You start off on power level 1 and work your way towards power level 6. The earlier power levels such as 1 and 2 mimic the speed of the arcade, while power level 6 has you racing around at high speeds. Another change was the ability to drift. In the arcade version, it is not possible to drift. This feature is especially helpful when you need to take sharper turns at higher speeds. The home version also added 4 additional songs. The N64 introduced Anajabai for Kenya, Cairo Cruisin' for Egypt, Shifter for Germany, and The Chase for England. Another change was trick bonuses. The more tricks that are performed, the more time that is taken away from your final elapsed time. The jump flip and super heli are worth 1 second, and the mega roll is worth 2. For example, my race time was 47:43, but because I did 21 seconds worth of tricks, it brought me down to 26:43. The trick system introduces more depth to the game and is an underrated feature in my opinion. The neat thing about Cruis'n World is that the engine is extremely buggy, and because of that you can perform tricks in places that you wouldn't think are possible. Even to this day, I'm still discovering new strategies to help improve my record times. I have world records that are officially recognized by Twin Galaxies. Up until now, I've had nothing but good things to say about this game, but no game is perfect. The problem lies with Championship Mode. The tracks are just modified versions of those that are found in Cruise the World mode and set up in a lap-based format. The Championship tracks are boring and feel empty when compared to their original counterparts. But the real problem with Championship Mode is the fact that it's such a grind fest. It takes so long to unlock the good stuff in the game, such as the Speed Demon car, which is the fastest car in the game, as well as Power Level 6. It will take you literally weeks before you can unlock everything in the game. Since it's so boring, you'll hardly find any motivation to continue playing. Your best bet is to play through Championship Mode until you've unlocked everything but the Speed Demon and Power Level 6, as those take the most time to get. Don't waste your time grinding. Instead, grab a Game Shark to unlock those hidden extras. I believe they added Championship Mode to extend the gameplay, but it leaves much to be desired. Thankfully, you only have to do it once in your life, and all the upgrades work in Cruise the World mode. And just like Cruising USA, in Cruis'n World you can't hit animals on the road. The animals do appear this time around, but when you try to hit them, you just pass right through. Thanks, Nintendo. The other problem I have with this game is if you want to play 2 or more players, you have to set up a new game save slot. You don't have the ability to select the amount of players you want on a previous saved game. This means you start with nothing, and you have to unlock everything in Championship Mode again. Why couldn't it have one master save slot and allow me to select how many players I wanted? This is annoying if you want to play 3 or 4 players, since no one is going to play through Championship Mode and unlock everything together. I'm so used to playing on Power Level 6 that it's too boring to play on Power Level 1 again. Once you unlock everything in Championship Mode, just stick to Cruise the World mode. Okay, now it's time for some trivia.
We're cruising now.
The arcade version did not have the track Moon. This was added only for the Nintendo 64 version. The first time I saw the words Moon appear after the credits rolled, I nearly lost it. In the arcade version, if you held down any of the view buttons, you could reveal the hidden tracks Kenya, Hawaii, and Australia. The song Cairo Cruisin' features the same vocal samples that were present in the original versions of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time's Fire Temple. The samples were removed in later versions due to the fact it sounded like a Muslim prayer. This particular sample must have been popular among sampling libraries at the time. The start button on the arcade version activates the vehicle's horn. With the Humvee, it activated a machine gun. Just like Cruis'n USA, Cruis'n World's ending was also changed.
This is Mission Control. Code green. Come on down.
I got Cruis'n World at 419er. Over.
10-4, cargo bay open.
Roger. Payload release.
We have payload. This is Mission Control. Commence countdown. 3, 2, 1, 0. We have liftoff. We're cruising now.
And now, the President.
Hold on, Hillary! Howdy, y'all! That was a hell of a little trip for y'all, but one giant cruise for mankind. Now fasten your seatbelts and remember, don't inhale!
My final thoughts overall, this game is great. It's more or less a true port of an arcade classic. If you're looking to buy any of the cruising games, this is your game. See you next time.
Of course it's not realistic. Who cares? It's fun, you know? That's the point. I mean, I think that's the thing that I think a lot of people are missing right now in the whole driving game environment, is they're trying to go for reality. Well, I drive enough, and thank you, but no thank you. I don't want reality. I want fun.